Tonight on PhillyCAM Voices, we have 6 segments produced by the fellows in the Community Journalism Mentorship Program. The Community Journalism Mentorship Program is a 6-month-long program where participants receive training in a media production and build portfolio of journalistic video pieces produced for television. Good evening, and thank you for tuning into PhillyCAM Voices. I'm your host, Rasheed Ajamu. Oliver sat down with Philadelphia Clef Club of Jazz and Performing Arts Artistic Director Lovett Hines, where she wanted us to hear about their history as Clef Club, how they are preserving jazz's history, and how they are helping jazz stay alive through young people. So let's check out what she was able to find out.
Right now we are at the Philadelphia Clef Club of Jazz and Performing Arts. The Philadelphia Clef Club was established as the social arm of the Black Musician Union 274. 274 was the Black Musician Union, and they had unions all over the country, but only a few had a social arm, and the social arm became a separate asset. And when 274 was absorbed by the National Union, the Clef Club was still standing, and it stands today. My name is Lovett Hines, and I'm an artistic director of the Philadelphia Clef Club of Jazz and Performing Arts. Some of the really famous musicians that came out of Union 74 was part of Union 274, of course, was Nina Simone, John Coltrane, Frankie Fairfax, Trudy Pitts, Mr. C. So those were some of the few really luminaries that came out of 274. One of the things that happened during the pandemic, that we have a great education program, and I'm so proud of that. When everybody was stopping doing activities in their institutions, one thing that we did, we continued our education program. And we continued the education program through virtual training and virtual education. And that gave us the leadway and gave us the ability to reach our kids on another level. And we kept that to this day. The important thing is our mission statement, and the mission statement states preservation to keep the music alive, and we have a strong archival space that we share with Temple University Bloxton Collection, and we're so proud of that. One of the things that we were talking about was preservation, presentation, and of course education. Education is the major part that keeps our music evolving. Even before jazz was presented in colleges, in schools, and even in high schools, the training of jazz always happened. And although the neighborhood is changing, our institution is still intact. And as long as we do meaningful programs, as long as we answer the needs of the things that we said we're going to stand for, the preservation, of course, presentation, and effective education, I think we are at a strong area, and we can basically hold our own long as we do what we have to do on a quality level. The word got around that we had a stellar education program, but now we are coupled with certain entities that's really helping us, the internet. We have a strong website, and on our website you can see our programming.
Reporter Angelica Saunders brings us an interview with Lisa Ivery and Jessica Pointer of the Nile Swim Club. Join us in learning more about the historic swim club's past and present.
Nile Swim Club is recognized as the nation's first Black-owned swim club, and it sits here just outside of Philadelphia. Today, we're here to learn more about how the Nile is still stepping up to serve the community. We're speaking with Vice President Lisa Ivery and coordinator of Jesse's Garden, Jessica Pointer.
I think it's the perfect pairing for us to be able to be the place that provides free swim lessons to anyone that wants them. And that's what No Child Will Drown in our town is. Look at the statistics. So the statistics are that 64% of African-American children between the ages of 4 and 18 have no or limited swim ability or experience. Then if you look at USA Swimming, they have about 400,000 swimmers registered, and 1% of those swimmers are African-American. So what this says to us and to our community is that, you know, we're taking the lead in closing that gap from children that, you know, have limited to no swimming ability. I guess if you think about when the club was created back 1957, 58, of course, you know, a few of those founding members were denied access to local swim clubs. They came together and created their own swim club, you know, put their houses up in order to be able to afford the land and build a swim club. So you can only imagine the type of courage and determination, you know, and positive energy that had to be flowing at that time in order for them to just say, that's okay, we'll build our own. And I think for us, at a time when we created No Child Will Drown, it's a similar situation, not being denied access, but almost losing our property and almost losing our club, and trying to figure out what could we do to bring more excitement and interest back to the club. Which brings us to today, which, you know, I can go on and on about our aquatics program now, which includes the free swim lessons, diving program, swim camp, the launch of a swim team. There's just so many facets to aquatics, and we're trying to cover them all. We're trying to bring them all to the club. It's our responsibility to close that gap, and we accept it.
So during the pandemic, Nemours Hospital, an executive from their senior staff, noticed all the wonderful things that the Nile Swim Club was doing. So they reached out to me and said, listen, we noticed all of the wonderful things that you're doing in the community. How can we be a part of that? And we came up with annual health and wellness fair in Jesse's Garden due to the insecurities in the area. This year we have a garden specific for our members to eat during the day when they're visiting the Nile. Like if they're hungry, they'll be able to go to this specific spot. We have a number of herbal gardens, plots within our garden, and that is going to be harvested and sold back to the community. And that income is going to be put back into the garden to grow fall harvest. That is all volunteer based. So anyone can participate, and we welcome everybody.
We are getting back to being a place that is like the nucleus of the community. So being that, we should offer, you know, a lot more than swimming. Because of the way our club was created, we have a greater responsibility than some of our other local swim clubs. Having the garden is perfect because the garden can then support the snack bar to provide, you know, healthy alternatives, you know, to the kids who are running up to get something to eat. They don't even realize, you know, how the system is working. As we continue to build and look at other programs that we will bring into the club, they all have to work together. There has to be some sort of synergy, you know, amongst all of them. It all has to, you know, all has to make sense.
For our next segment, I spoke with Philly Experiences founder and tour guide, Chrissy Watts, about her new experience where she hugs anyone who wants one in Germantown. Philly's tourism scene mainly centers the downtown area, often highlighting history in Old City or encouraging visitors to visit Philadelphia's Museum District at the end of the Parkway. But this tour guide aims to take tourist dollars from Center City, Philadelphia, and bring them to the hood. North Philly, born and bred founder and tour guide, Chrissy Watts founded Philly Experiences to help tourists better understand why the hood is at the heart of this city. Watts provides a wide variety of experiences for tourists and even Philly natives and residents, including the Black Be Beautiful experience, Moral and Murals Hood Tour, the Uptown Soul Food Crawl, party bus experiences, and even a wellness experience where Watts leads guests through a meditation session with Afro beats. On Monday, April 4th, Watts posted on the Philly Experiences Instagram page that a lack of hugs during her childhood led her to constantly contemplate suicide throughout a large duration of her life. In that same post, she announced she would begin providing a new experience inspired by her life circumstances in hopes to spread the love. Watts now offers free hugs to anyone who wanted them in Vernon Park, where she does her meditation and wellness experience. I stopped by Vernon Park on Friday, April 14th to grab a hug and to ask Watts some questions about the new love-filled experience. Check it out.
So right now, it's actually pre-pandemic. I had this idea, I saw it on IG of some guy holding up a sign, I think, that says free hugs. I don't know if it was Philly, it doesn't matter. And I was like, that's so dope. And I would never do it, but I would want to do it, if that makes sense. And then, just with all the murders that are happening in the city and just the despair and just what I hear when I'm traveling and walking and I'm on SEPTA, I can hear the frustration. I can hear people's pain and I feel it and I just don't know what to do about it. So I just said, let's see what happens if I put a post up saying I'll give out hugs. What's the response? I've always been the awkward one. So let's just keep going. Just why not? And it's working. I just started last week, and I'm still testing out what it looks like, what's going to happen. I've had people reach out, say that they want to do it as well. I've already had donations of people who are not local saying, like, keep going. So now my goal is at least an hour, at least once a week. And if not Vernon Park, I've also done it while walking down the street, which has been more interesting than doing it in the park. So it's something I wish could go on forever. I hope someone takes this idea and also does it in their neighborhood, on their block, and just keep spreading kindness. If you're doing the work, now it's time to start sharing the work too. Hugs are life-changing. Hugs are healing. If you can't hug someone, hug yourself. Just be kind. All the things that I am very open about of what I healed through. One of my favorite things from, especially in relationships, like learning, like my most intimate moments in relationships were through hugs. And I didn't grow up with them. So being able to just share something so intimate and be vulnerable in public is life-changing for me and the person. Like, I've had so many people that just like, I needed this today. I've had people that's already been emotional about it. I've been emotional about it. And so I'm hoping that this spreads. Keep hugging, keep loving yourself, keep doing the work, and happiness and peace is a choice, no matter who you have to let go to get it.
Watts says she will continue offering the experience as much as she can, as long as she can. You can follow @Philly Experiences on Instagram if you want updates on when you can get your hug the next time you're in Germantown. To learn more about Philly Experiences, you can visit www.phillyexperiences.com. Once again, I am Rasheed Ajamu, and I thank you for watching. On March 30th, 2023, PhillyCAM joined Philadelphia mayoral candidates at Taller Puertorriqueño for the Philadelphia Arts and Culture Mayoral Forum. Community reporter fellow Rachel K. Godfrey followed multimedia journalist Toya Haynes as she spoke to community members about what Philadelphia's arts and culture sector needs from local politicians.
On March 30th, 2023, PhillyCAM joined Philadelphia mayoral candidates at Taller Puertorriqueño for the Philadelphia Arts and Culture Mayoral Forum. I followed writer and editor Toya Haynes as she interviewed attendees, and as I listened to the mayoral candidates share their opinions on our creative climate, I became invested in this frequently used term, creative economy. There isn't one single definition, but there's one I'd like us to consider. and that's economic and restorative justice using creativity and the arts as the vehicle to reach individual and community potential. Many artists are trying to see this sentiment through, that we can build communities actively working to decenter capitalism, but understand the need for an increase in funding and resources that center people, their creativity, and their wellness. As Toya spoke to Philadelphia residents and community leaders in the Philadelphia Arts and Culture Network, I had two questions. One, what is the importance of arts and culture in a city like Philadelphia? And two, what do artists, cultural workers, and other community members need from emerging local politicians to ensure a sustainable, people-oriented creative economy? Let's pass the mic to the people.
Yeah, just want to see more ideas about how the arts can be a solution for things like gun violence and, preventing other crimes and things from happening in the city. The arts is super important for our youth. And I'm here to represent, and advocate for more funding and support for the arts.
Tell me about your interest in the arts tonight, because that's really what it's all about, what the mayor's going to do, or the candidates are willing to do for the arts sector. So tell me why that's important to you.
I mean, the arts, especially in Philadelphia, is a huge economic engine for Black and brown people. Like eds and meds are great, but, the arts are where the neighborhoods come through,
We need a humanistic approach to eliminate poverty, the systematic poverty, and we need our communities to be successful and thrive, and arts and culture is a base for that.
Look at this beautiful building. It's called Taller Puertorriqueño. So, this is a really important aspect, and I really think that the arts is an integral part of our economic development. It's not just a fancy thing. It's not just esoteric. It's our neighborhoods.
For people that might not understand, because I think a lot of times when people think of arts and culture, they just think of, paintings or just music, but there's so much more about how it impacts a community. Can you share more about that, please?
Well, it starts with healing. Through the arts, you can heal yourself and you can say your story.
I am a lifelong Philadelphian. I go to everything. I see everything. I'm the ticket buyer. I support the arts. I've sat on boards in the arts. I want to see it not just survive, but thrive.
Well, it's really important for all the candidates to recognize the importance, as you just explained, of Philadelphia globally as it pertains to music. There often is a running joke that at any given time, on any given stage around the world, for all the various artists, there's at least one person in that band from Philadelphia.
And I think for communities that are considered minorities, it's very important to have our own voice and to have that representation, not somebody writing about us. We need to have these spaces to have our own voice. When we know where we come from, we know and understand where we belong and where we can get. What is our goal? What is that potential that we have within us?
So many of those artists will tell you how they got their first start in a school program or, a community center, and how it just blossomed their career. It was that seed, that foundation that led them on to the greatness that they've become.
But let's know what's happening in cultural centers in all of our neighborhoods, what's happening with all of our children. Why wouldn't I not want to hear what their plan is and where the dollars are being spent and supportive dollars?
So we're looking for candidates who are committed to our mission of using art to transform not just the civic landscape of the city of Philadelphia, but lives.
This year marked the 24th Philly Black Pride celebration, an annual 4-day pride event that emphasizes the strength and resilience of Philly's community of LGBTQ+ people of color. And this year's theme was Black Joy Health. Reporter Sheila Lorrett Emerson was there to cover the action.
Philly Black Pride, an annual celebration for LGBTQ+ people of color, kicked off Pen Relay Weekend. Thousands participated in festivities around the city, and this year, Philly Black Pride was honored with a city proclamation.
The city of Philadelphia is proud of the diversity of our residents. And strong, honey, look. got my glasses. Y'all need more light in here. I'm 50 years old.
The city of Philadelphia is proud of the diversity of its residents and strongly believes in the powerful contributions each individual can make to uplift the quality of life in our city. When we come together in the spirit of unity to celebrate the contributions of everyone, we increase and enhance our understanding of one another and make our city stronger. The City of Philadelphia commends all organizations that seek to connect with and uplift our residents, particularly those who are among the most vulnerable populations and often face discrimination. The annual Philly Black Pride Pin Relay celebration is one such event, which started in August 1999 after it was created by the Colors organization, the city's only lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer health organization primarily served by and for the people of color. Colors hosted the festival until Philadelphia Black Gay Pride received its own nonprofit status in April 2004 and created year-long programming centered on its mission. PBGP continues to fulfill extraordinary goal to transform the living and social environments of LGBT people of color. By creating multicultural opportunities, it aims to educate, inspire, improve, and celebrate the experiences of these individuals through programs, policy, advocacy, partnerships, and relationship building. Its core commitments are to community development, youth development, and community outreach. From Thursday, April 27th to Sunday, April 30th, the organization will celebrate its 24th year of Philly Black Pride that will enable thousands of Black LGBT plus communities and allies to celebrate, network, and build awareness throughout the city. The theme for this year is Black Joy and Healing, and organizers will encourage participants to engage in networking and dialogue on social issues and attend a number of events located throughout the city. It is fitting and appropriate, therefore, that the City of Philadelphia officially recognizes this tribute, Philly Black Pride 24th anniversary in Philadelphia, and commend Philadelphia Black Pride for its outstanding work in our communities and encourage all of our residents to support and be aware of the many ways our diverse LGBTQ communities enriches the lives of all Philadelphians. Signed by...
Thank you on behalf of the city. There you go.
And when asked what they were most excited about,
I'm most excited about getting the information out there, so a lot of people don't know about it, or they know a little bit but not know as much. So I'm excited about putting information out there, posting on my Instagram, Facebook, letting everybody be aware of the activities that's out there, the events that's out there, and then hopefully if they want to join. But also all of the vendors were absolutely amazing. They have some support groups, some resource groups for people who are LGBT. So I'm excited about that.
I definitely like to come this year just about healing, health, and joy. For myself, I'm somebody that went to therapy for many years. When I got older, just to dealing with past trauma, just acceptance of being, part of the LGBT community, and not having that. What we have here, that dynamic of when I was growing up with my family and religious beliefs, and we didn't have this support. So I feel like I'm really glad that they're venturing out, especially dealing with the mental health of Black people. We still in 2023 think it's so taboo, and I love his shirt, go to therapy. You still need that. So anything can be a trigger. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. I actually have a D-Day tomorrow, but I like this event just to bring the awareness, and then you get to let your hair down.
to learn more about Philly Black Pride, visit phillyblackpride.org.
Barbara Martin Ellis interviewed Rebecca Fabiano, Executive Director and founder of Fab Youth Philly, a Philadelphia organization that provides jobs and helps teens develop incredible work skills in Kensington and West Philadelphia.
Ready, set, go!
Rebecca Fabiano. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the executive director and founder of Fab Youth Philly. And yes, the organization is partially named after my last name, but really it's more about wanting to lift up the fabulousness of adolescence and recognizing how fabulous young people are here in Philadelphia. So Fab Youth Philly is a small organization. We're a youth-serving organization, but our work really focuses on providing workforce development opportunities for young people ages 15 to 19. Our signature program and how we started the organization really is our Play Captain initiative. So the Play Streets are designed to be a summer meal program. A resident is trained to give out meals, and then those streets get closed off from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to make it safe for children to come and go and get the meals, and also to make them playful. But most Play Streets, truthfully, are not that playful. There are some rock star street supervisors, these residents, generally older women who care deeply about their neighborhood, but not all of the 500 Play Streets are as playful as they could be. And I'm a little bit of an opportunist, and so I know that young people need a quality summer job, so I thought vacant Play Streets, teens who need jobs, teens in their own neighborhoods who could be used as, viewed as assets and not as nuisances. Let's train these young people as play captains, which is a play on the word block captain and junior block captain here in Philly. And let's activate those Play Streets by hiring young people from their own neighborhoods to make those streets more playful. The Play Captains is year-round. They activate the playgrounds in the in-between seasons and also during the summer. Our little libraries is from September to June. We started a youth advisory board because it's really important to me as an organization that we are building meaningful opportunities for youth voice. They're paid to be on the advisory board, and they're also paid to learn how to make decisions. And in the fall, they're actually going to get media training so that they can speak directly to the press, so that we are always making sure that we're not co-opting young people's stories and that they can tell their own stories. And thinking about everything we do as an opportunity for a young person to build work history and strengthen their resume and to build out some of the skills that they have that they might have gotten with us in a different job or they got somewhere else, but that they can continue to build as they continue in their career path. I'm so excited about our newest initiative, which is our lifeguard training certification. For the last 3 years, but probably longer, Philadelphia has really struggled to open up all of our public pools. And in many of our neighborhoods, there are higher heat indexes in some neighborhoods than others. And in those neighborhoods, having those pool opens are absolutely critical. So thinking about functioning from our strengths, Drexel University is putting in the pool for us. So they are providing an in-kind donation of the pool. Parks and Rec is providing the water safety instructor. Fab Youth Philly is providing the workforce development and the salaries. And then the West Philadelphia Promise neighborhood made sure that young people were outfitted from head to toe, from bathing cap to goggles, to bathing suit, to flip-flops, to towel, to reduce any barrier that a young person might have to be able to participate in this program. What we're aiming to do in the fall is we actually want to pay young people to learn how to swim, pay them $10 an hour to learn how to swim, get them ready to take the lifeguard certification. Then we can transition them into the lifeguard certification program and pay them $12 an hour. And then once they complete that, then they're eligible to work at Parks and Rec for $16 an hour. And then they have a lifeguard certification that's good for 2 years. They could work at a high-end hotel, they could work at a water park, they could help keep our rec centers open year-round for some of the indoor pools. Since 2017, we have worked with, we've provided job opportunities for nearly 300 individuals, both adults and young people. It just makes me so proud when I walk into a coffee shop in West Philly and this young person and I are both going, I know you, you know me. We know each other. How do we know it? Oh, you worked at Fab Youth Philly 6 years ago. Look at what you're doing now. And that just makes me, my heart full.
Thank you for tuning into this episode. Look out in the coming months for more stories from the Community Journalism Fellows. You can also watch our show on YouTube and Roku, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And we will see you next time.